Folks, you gotta see this. Anti-Trump protests have been breaking out all over the country and quite frankly, all over the world. And one just took place on Georgia State's campus today. And as you can see in the video I'm about to show you, it is hilarious. There's someone driving a motorized chair, and behind them, there are two people crawling on the floor, one wearing a Trump mask, one wearing an Elon Musk mask. And as you can see on both sides of this protest, there are people filming, laughing, and enjoying themselves. Now, there is copyrighted music over the video, so we'll just talk about it really briefly. But just look at this. As you can see, the Trump mask person is on the right side, and the Elon Musk person is on the left side. And they're crawling on the floor, and they have QR codes that people can scan that are anti-Trump and anti-Musk. Is this not just like one of the craziest protests you've seen in modern America against the Trump administration? And it's all Gen Z. It's young people who are doing this on college campuses in the incredibly important swing state of Georgia, which I think is something to be hopeful about, that young people are gathering, enjoying themselves, and enjoying seeing people like slam Elon Musk and Donald Trump. I'm very happy as a young person to see my fellow young people, my fellow Gen Zers getting out there and also making their voices heard in whatever way they see fit. Now, this has been something that's been taking place in the United States since Donald Trump got elected, these huge anti-Trump protests and even smaller ones that are popping up on college campuses, just on random streets in places. But recently in New York and across the country, there were these major organized anti-Trump protests. This one on your screen right now is taking place in New York City in Washington Square Park under the Arch. I'm sure if you've been to New York or you've been to Manhattan, you are familiar with this park. It is huge. This is a huge protest that be taking place just randomly in New York at Washington Square Park. I mean, there are thousands of people gathered there, which is just fantastic to see. People are really making their voices heard. And another one I want to show you took place in Washington, D.C. in February in front of the Capitol. This was news to me because a lot of media outlets are just not really covering these protests. So, of course, we're going to talk about them here. I mean, look at this. Thousands of people. Wow. Yeah, thousands of people gathered with anti-Trump, anti-Musk signs. And for this protest in particular, I thought it'd be helpful to hear from somebody who's actually on the ground there and protesting against Donald Trump. And they are a veteran. This is a video from my friend, Keith Edwards, who I think is fantastic. And he interviewed one of these protesters, read her sign. Just take a look at what he had to say with her.
Hey, how are you? Can I see it? Can I see the other side of your sign? Okay. Hey, Trump and Elon, we booked you a flight direct to Allah. What is that?
Directo de chingada is like, the fuck out of here.
Awesome. Why are you here today?
Air Force vet.
You are. Thank you for your service.
Thank you. So yeah, just wanting to be here and make a voice for everyone else. People who can't be here, people who want to be here and are afraid to be the voice.
Hey, how are you?
That's amazing.
Can I see it?
That's amazing. And you're seeing this happen far more often. These Air Force veterans generally, former federal workers coming out to these anti-Trump protests and making their voices heard. We've never seen anything like this in American history, where someone who is as dictatorial as Donald Trump just takes a sledgehammer to these people, their lives, their programs, their jobs. So they're getting out there, making their voices heard. And I can guarantee you that in this crowd, there are far more veterans than Trump would like to believe who are coming out saying, hey, this guy doesn't represent me. This guy does not represent the country we put our lives on the line to serve, and she is no different. I just thought that was such a fantastic clip. There's another protest I want to show you that took place in Denver in February, and it's huge. Entire streets occupied of people protesting Donald Trump. Just take a look at this. They were chanting F the president. That's amazing. It just kept going. The street just kept going. There are thousands of people walking in Denver. This was February 17th, 2025, saying F the president, F Donald Trump. People are getting out there and making their voices heard. And this goes to show just how unpopular the Trump administration is, how unpopular Donald Trump is. And that's not just me commentating on these protests and making a conclusion based off the videos. It's the videos and the fact that Donald Trump's approval rating is collapsing. We have this article from Newsweek that was just published the other day. Trump's approval rating plunges with America's most accurate pollster, a pollster that got the 2024 election almost exactly right. Just take a look at this article. According to a poll conducted by Atlas Intel between March 7th and March 12th among 2,500 respondents, Trump's approval rating currently stands at 47%, while 52% disapprove of his job performance. This poll had a margin of error of plus or minus 2 percentage points. This is going down from previous polls conducted by Atlas Intel in January and February, which found that 50% of people approved of Donald Trump's job performance, while 50% disapproved. Now, the fact that it was even a 50% approval rating in this poll at some point is genuinely scary, given how disastrous Donald Trump's presidency has been so far, how bad it was in January and February, and of course, now in March. But it is dropping rapidly because people are seeing what Donald Trump is doing. They're seeing that, wow, the federal government's actually pretty important. These people who work in the federal government are pretty important. Our allies around the world, like Canada, Mexico, Great Britain, Germany, France, they're actually really important to the United States and our security. And they're seeing Donald Trump deal with all these issues terribly. And not only are they getting out in the streets and making their voices heard, but they're also saying, hey, I'm not a fan of Donald Trump, and making those views public as well. And I also thought this graph was really interesting. Donald Trump's approval rating in 2025 is dropping as fast as it was in his first term. You can see that in 2025, Donald Trump started off his presidency with a slightly higher approval rating than in 2017, but it is now underwater. He is now falling at a pretty steady and consistent rate, almost identical to the rate that it was in 2017. This is terrible news for Donald Trump. He is arguing to the American people that he has this some sort of mandate to just basically do whatever he wants, but he can't make that argument if the majority of Americans don't approve of him, and certainly that approval rating continues to go down by the day as we learn more and more about this disastrous administration. And I just want to show you a contrast here, which is people are getting out there in droves to protest Donald Trump, to protest Elon Musk, and call out their insanity. But on the flip side, in the Democratic Party, people are coming out in droves to see Democrats speak, to cheer on the policies that we're advocating for. And this was no better seen than at a recent rally with Bernie Sanders and Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez in Colorado. I just want to play this clip for you and we'll talk about it. But just look how many people are in this crowd to hear them speak about the Trump administration and how we can combat Donald Trump and his insane policy.
Help bring all of us here together today. Senator Bernie Sanders.
Now, that crowd is huge. There are thousands of people at this rally that was supposed to be kind of small. Thousands of people showed up. But the thing about that crowd, that's the overflow crowd. That's not even the crowd for the main rally. That's the overflow crowd. And you're seeing this across the country in different places that they're stopping, that thousands of people are showing up and that they have overflow rooms. They have overflow rooms for the overflow rooms. It is remarkable what we're seeing happening around the country. Donald Trump's being protested on college campuses, in the streets, in front of the Capitol building. AOC, Bernie Sanders, and other Democrats are being celebrated, having their rallies attended and supported. It's something that's happening. I think it's something to keep an eye on around how this goes down around the country. And of course, we'll be talking about it here in the future. So thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about all this stuff, and we will chat soon. Have a great rest of your day.